Hey, I've been working on the song, so I'm gonna play the ukulele tonight, though, for real. Welcome, family. I see you, Liberty, out there doing your shout outs, moderator. Did you hear me say, yo, listen, I've been working on that song every single day. I got all types of new parts to it. So when we get to our musical segment, oh, shit, I forgot I got my do rag on. I was supposed to take that off. See, that's how I get the. You can't see them good on camera, but in real life, that's how I keep them 360. I told you one time I ain't believe that I can get them with gray hair. Because if you have gray hair, you understand. Gray has a mind of its own. But we're doing good. How your day been today, Liberty? Listen, I've been a little slow today, but I was listening to music before we got on this, and I'm a fan of Kanye's music. So certain songs of his get me crunk. And the last song I was listening to all day, and my favorite line is that you were fake Denzel, like the Allstate. Okay, hold on. All right, here. All right, we're gonna make sure it work good. Okay, what's up with my sound? Why you hear that? You hear that echo? Why does it sound like that? Hello, hello. I don't like that. You hear it, Liberty? Am I tripping? Let me just see something. See if that sound crazy. Okay. And that does. All right, yeah, okay, we're gonna move forward anyway. That bothers me a little bit because sound is part of the experience. Well, anyway, back to my welcome, man. Welcome, Misha, Mick, welcome, Johnny. Um, oh, word, I was trying to see if you could hear that, my sound tin canny. And I don't know, I don't know if you can hear it. Let me see what the original sound like. Bad. Let's go back. Listen, we ain't gonna worry about it. We're gonna keep this party going. Anyway. But I got hype off Kanye all day. That fake Denzel like the all state. That's my favorite line. One of them. He had many lines in there. But anyway, welcome to Soul Swami Live. This is your first time joining you. I am Anthony Howard, better known as Soul Swami. What we do here is we discuss all things healing. We have live energy readings. We do lessons, activities. We have homework. So, you know what, Liberty, that we talk about it. I ain't done homework in a minute. Maybe it's time to dish out some homework. But we haven't done homework in a minute. But we do homework, all types of different things. And we are here for our healing show every Tuesday at 7 p.m. But we have a spinoff from our Tuesday healing show, which is our Thursday book club. Book club is supposed to provide an opportunity for us to reconnect with the child in ourselves. And what kid doesn't like being read to? So you can enjoy, join, have some comments, have some, even take the opportunity to suggest some books. We probably only halfway through. Makes me want to holler. But some point we're going to get through that. And we would love for you to suggest a book for us. And you can catch our show Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, or Instagram. Whatever you feel comfortable with. So if you do want to catch, if you feel like you missed any shows, you can always look on YouTube. YouTube has every episode from the very beginning to where we are now. Now you have a lot of time and you want to binge. That is 200 and probably 240 episodes right now. But we've been doing this thing for a minute now. So thanks for joining us. Family, this week we're green. So green is heart chakra. And it's funny because I felt like I was doing some hard work. I wanted to wear some green to an event I went to over the weekend. I didn't because my green outfit didn't come till after I got there because I just delayed, just dragging my feet and not listening to my intuition like we talk about all the time. I ain't do it. Raw, thanks for joining. TikTok, I love y'all. Y'all so much support sliding through. Don't forget to tap that screen, show some love. Instagram, I know y'all slide through too. I love y'all. Twitch, you been quiet a little bit, so. But don't forget, show some love, hit them hard, share the stream. We are on our chakra. So if you're new here, beginning of every show, whether it's the book club or the Tuesday night show, we do a chakra cleansing. So this week we are on our heart chakra. And the color for that is green. What did I do with my heart card? Okay, there you go. All right. So the color for heart is green. So if you're doing some heart stuff, some heart work, you're having some heart issues, think about green. They also say green is a color for genius. So green is your favorite color. Maybe you're a lover and a genius. But green is the heart chakra. The element for heart is air. I love air. I like to say I get a lot of messages through air, whether it's air, the universe, or the breath that comes along with words. I get a lot of messages and give messages to that. Some essential oils or some smells you want to be able to deal with your heart chakra are Rose is very good. Jasmine is good. Geranium. Geranium is a good smell for that. And the heart is known for your love, your compassion, your kindness, acceptance, and empathy, and a few other things, but all in that under that. Some stones, if you want to get into stones that you want to have around. Emerald, green stones. You keep in mind emerald, jade, and ironically rose quartz, one of my favorites. So I keep that. This is actually I use this as my anchor stone, which is funny. So, well, not an anchor stone. I use it as my anchor. It just happened to be a stone. Anchor is whenever I'm taking spiritual journeys and stuff like that, to make sure it keeps me grounded. Make sure I stay here with everybody. You know what I mean? Because those things you can mentally go a lot of different places on spiritual journeys. So, and I want to make sure I am able to come back. So rose quartz is good for the heart. So okay, well shoot, I need some green beads. You know, I need one for every color. Listen, I'm gonna play the ukulele first. Listen, Liberty. I swear. Hey, I even got my knuckle, the tip part right there. That thing been wearing me out. So normally at this time, family, I'm wilding out. But we usually do our bowl. But I've been so excited about my ukulele because I've had it for a minute. And I broke the popped the strings and was mad. But I'm actually glad I did pop the strings. But because it made me buy new strings, and these strings are better. Oh shit. Hey, listen. I swear. It's still the same the beginning. Um, but listen, I've done a bunch more. I'll be in here. I know my neighbors probably be going crazy. Okay. So you know I ain't no player. So we definitely gonna have some errors. But listen, one of my favorite jokes. This one here is an original. I do. I sounded off. I'm sorry. This shit sounds. This is my new part, Liberty. So you see it be bad. That's it. Listen, I've been trying. Listen, it's terrible, but listen, at some point, I don't know where to go after that, and I got to work on this. All right, listen. Thanks for humoring me, Liberty. Hey, listen. What makes it even better is I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just making it up as I go, and I hear it in my head, right? So I'm one of those people where I can hear, I hear it, I hear it, I hear it clear as day in my head, right? But then trying to translate that down to a damn ukulele. Okay. All right. Okay, family, let's move on. Oh shit. Enough for the concert. We're gonna hit our bowl, then we're gonna do our breath work, and then listen. Listen. Hey, y'all can't be out here joking on me. I just got stuck again, so I just walk by it, pick it up, and keep practicing. Cause I can hear the next part, but I don't know how to translate it yet. So here's something else to relax us. This is our small singing bowl set to the C, and it is for your throat. What breath exercise do y'all want to do? Communication must be good for 6, 7, 8. Okay, that'll work. Um, communication must be good. That bowl went off, so I hope y'all are in a space where you are able to speak your truth. Maybe it's because we just did throat last week too, so I guess. And then didn't I just post the throat affirmations too? So maybe that was it. People have been doing their throat work, so the energy for communication is very strong right now. So family, after we do our sound period, we do a little breath work. We do several different breathing exercises, but tonight we are going to do the 6, 7, 8. 6 is 4, 7, 8. Close enough. So 6, 7, 8. Wait a minute. Close enough though. We're gonna do 4, 7, 8. So that is, you breathe in for a 4 count, you hold for a 7, and you release for an 8 count. But you don't have to worry about that. About the count, all you have to do is just make sure you do the breath work, and I will do the count for you, right? So hopefully you're in a comfortable space, and it was close enough though. I knew what you was trying to say. Hope you are in a space where you can relax and close your eyes and do a little bit of the breath work with us. On the count of 3, we will begin. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Release 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Repeat it, family. Breathe in 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Release 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time, family. Breathe in 4 count. 2, 3, 4. Hold 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Release 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Listen, I'm laughing because you're supposed to focus in on your breathing, and I recognize that 4 count be long. So controlling yourself for that 4 count is one thing, but then holding your breath for that 7 count is a lot longer. But it seems like blowing your breath out for an 8 count takes a tremendous amount of breath control. And I'm laughing because it sounds like I'm counting slow. And I try to pick up the pace a little bit to be conscious of that. We're all growing in our breath work. But that 8 count is pretty long to be breathing out. So I'm laughing because I don't do it with you all because, of course, I'm keeping the count. But listen, I've done it, and I laugh at myself sometime on that 8 count. So it's a beautiful thing. Now, the next thing we do is our visualization. Oh, Toddy, I ain't give you no shout out. Thanks for joining. And then immediately trying to roast me with Liberty. I'm like, listen, one day I will pay y'all for being moderators, but today I think I get to give y'all passes on roasting y'all back. Right? Because Toddy, I ain't tell you this about Liberty. Side story, family. I know that's right. I do too, right? So, side story. Liberty And oh, listen, this is funny too, because I got one for you too, Liberty. This is funny. So Liberty, Toddy, had a budding relationship with the R&B soul singer Bilal. Bilal inboxed her and everything. But out the blue, he just randomly ghosted her, right? Which is hilarious, right? Dead serious, true story, right? So now, Liberty, I got one for you. Toddy has a butter relationship with a soul R&B crooner. And she meet Anthony Hamilton at Pineville Mall. Who? Hey, this Bilal. You talking about my Bilal voice? Hey, I'm Bilal. Listen, Toddy, dude sent her voice messages and she sent it to me. So I sat around practicing my Bilal voice. So, hey, this Bilal. Like, Bilal doesn't sound like that. I don't know who that dude was. But listen, you know how I kill her. But then, hey, this Bilal. You know you can't let me in on the secret like that, because I, as a matter of fact, I asked her today. I said, hey man, what happened to your budding relationship with Bilal? You feel me? Share. We missing the story. We clowning. You in here with 2 stars. Liberty had a relationship with Bilal, and Toddy is building one with Anthony Hamilton. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with these I guess I gotta work on my R&B crooning. Maybe that's why I got the ukulele. So I started making ukulele songs and stuff. You know what I mean? All I got right now is Ave Marie. I don't even know what she's saying that, so I'm terrible. We supposed to be doing the visualization, but I don't know. I don't know. Or don't do the visualization, or don't sing that. Don't turn into no R&B crooner. Yeah, I got skills. You know, I can sing a little bit, but I sound like, you know, one of them. Out on 110th Street. One of them, the most 70s singer. Like, I gotta sing blues. I guess that's why I got a guitar. So you listen. Oh God, you know. You know what I mean? Cheating in the next room. I got one of those boys. I'm comfortable with that. You know what I mean? It worked. I do love that. I do love that song "Cheating in the Next Room" though. By ZZ Hill. What make it even funnier though is when we was growing up, it would BET used to have all those. No, brother, you got to get your own. I remember that ZZ Hill was one of the songs on that soul R&B albums that BET used to say, cheating in the next room. And then right after that, I wish he didn't trust me so much. Like, I don't know what that album was whole about, but that soul R&B was all cheating songs. Like, this dude cheating in the next room. The next dude starts sleeping with his homeboy wife. I wish he didn't trust me so much. That is why when we got a problem, them dudes we say, I don't get it. I don't get it. But that's why I love that. So, but listen. Oh God, I'm in tears now too. I think I kind of ruined it. A visualization after that ain't gonna be great. So I guess that's the purpose of the visualization. We will do some affirmations though. So instead of doing our normal visualization, I said the element for your heart is air, right? And we think about it as the air that blows the wind outside. But I also said the air that released from your body. So I said I get messages from the air and I give messages. So today's visualization was one of laughter because it painted pictures. You remember the BET soul albums. Hey, I'm Bilal, right? You can imagine imagine some scammer inboxing you with a fake R&B, a fake R&B profile, and really sending like voice messages. Like she don't know what Bilal sound like, so she ain't never talked to Bilal on the phone. She don't know what that dude sound like. I can go ahead and send my regular voice. I'm gonna start doing that. I'm like, I'm Bilal. They're like, nah, no, you're not. Yeah, it is. I ain't even gonna try to change my voice either. Yes, and it is good for the heart. Laughter is good for the heart. And thanks for joining. I can't even say your name. Gulu 99. I know that's right, TikTok. Listen, and it is good for your weight, man. Laughter, laughing every day. Thanks, Sherry. I really appreciate you, girl. Thanks. Hugs. You know what I mean? I definitely gotta call you. I wound up later I'm gonna talk about it too. I wound up going to Winston to do a healing thing, and it just kind of tore me up this weekend. But I got you. Love you, Sherry. Appreciate you. Be safe. You know what I mean? Know the family values you, and we love you. Until next time, Sherry. Thanks for stopping by, girl. Man, I said that like that was a goodbye for everybody, man. But we love Sherry. She the throuple. Sherry done got in beef with me. Oh, word, no, for sure. I'm gonna call you this week. I slipped because what's the name? Well, shoot, we all need to get together and get Miss Yvonne together too. Have us a good old time. We're about to have a funky good time. About to have a funky good time. And she will call out because she's done a lot better. They new supervisor ain't like me. You know how I was always letting y'all go home early. This shit don't be doing that. So they gotta take their days. Y'all don't have to take no days. I was just getting them to you. But as a matter of fact, we ain't coming to work tomorrow, y'all. See y'all have it. Enjoy your weekend. So it's a little different for them now, but she will take that day off. Believe that. But anyway, love you, Sherry. Back on what was we talking about? That's a visualization. Cool. Woo. She laughed because she knows the truth, man. Listen, me, Sherry, and Toddy used to work together. So if you're new here, that's why we got an energetic connection. Man, listen. Also, too, we haven't been having a lot of those lagged and dropped scenes that we used to have before, man. So I started cutting that app down. So I think it's been beneficial. Oh yeah, Sherry, you did miss me, goddamn. Strum a tune on the uke. About to have a funky good time. Now that song stuck in my head. Got to get high. About to have a funky good time. I need to add that to my thank you. That's where we at. The affirmations. I do want to do the heart affirmations for yourself. So if you're in a space and you need to do a little heart work or to remind yourself of the loving and caring person that you are, you can take some time, look in the mirror, and look yourself in the face and say these affirmations with all the earnestness of your heart. I love myself and others. Excuse me. I love myself and others. I deserve to be loved. I forgive others easily. My heart is fully open, loving, and pure. I follow the voice of my heart. I love myself and others. I deserve to be loved. I forgive others easily. My heart is fully open, loving, and pure, and I follow the voice Yeah. We love that though, because I've said it a million times. I make my decisions from my heart, my stomach, and my sacral. And you know what the sacral covers. So yeah, being real. All right, family, we're gonna get this party started. Thank Todd, you was on point too. Good job, man. I'm proud of you too, cuz. Never mind. I know you and your memories. You guys, you do be paying attention sometimes, so I gotta cut you a little bit of slack next time, you dig? I shall cut you a little bit of slack. What were we doing? Last week we were we were talking about some prompts for forgiveness. Let me see what we doing. Let me see if I can find that. Was it energy recording? We're about to have a fun good time. Do 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 do. Gonna take you high. Hey, what? Is that it? For real? No. I don't believe it. Wait, I don't believe it. If that's it, that's tremendous, family. Because normally I gotta reset it up, and I was just thinking how I didn't set it up. So if it went back to what it was supposed to be, are we on forgive? Let me check, family. Yeah, we are on forgiveness. That is it. So some of the things we talked about on forgiveness a bunch. We asked several different questions. And it's funny because I was thinking about that first one. Some questions to create some self-reflection for yourself. I was talking about, as a matter of fact, I thought about this. Think of a time that someone hurt you deeply. How did you respond and how do you feel about it now? That's a good one because it definitely will let you know if there's a space for forgiveness or where we're going to continue in our discussion, a space for letting go. You might need either or. Oh, don't be thanking me because I'm going to cut you some slack. Oh, Lord. Lord have mercy. I take that back. I can't cut you no slack. I got to take it back. Um, we ain't really spend much time on what does forgiveness mean because we started off with a definition and you know, forgiving about for apologizing, and we went through a couple of cognitive awareness prompts and what are your beliefs, what do you think about people who hold mistakes, and we did some relationship based prompts. We talked about how forgiveness and we communicate our forgiveness to others, and do you need to say it out loud, which tied into us the week before discussing our apology language and the ways that we receive apologies, and we never did go back to that. I need to go back to that so we can, because we never finished discussing the other apology languages, so we might have to go back to that next week because it was a great tool for us to recognize how we like to be apologized to, but in also learning how we like to be apologized to, we learn the other tools of how to deliver apologies to other people. Not everybody's like us. They might need it a different way. So that was a great one. How do we like forgiveness? Do you need to say it out loud? That's an apology language type question right there. And then, of course, the last section was some growth and healing prompts. But today, we're going to spend a little bit more time on the letting go prompts, right? And I'm just going to jaw jack a little bit. All right. A little bit on why I feel like this is important. You know, we always talk about the synchronicity of life. How here we don't believe in coincidences. We understand that it's all synchronized for us to pay attention and for our awareness, right? So society, I mean not society, but life has been giving me a real opportunity to discuss some things, right? Listen, I wanted to talk about a couple of things tonight. I wanted to talk about this manly thing versus what's good for me. And I think I may have discussed it a little bit last week, but it is one of those ideas where you are behaving
in a way that society says a man or a woman is supposed to behave. And even if this behavior isn't in alignment with what you want to do for yourself, I want to be for yourself. So over the last few weeks, I wound up being in a situation where I really had to communicate and say no, right? Because it was something I didn't want to do. And once I did that, I was able to really look back on all the times that I've been in this same uncomfortable situation, but still said yes, even though I really didn't want to do. Or even in situations where I may have made things uncomfortable because I thought that is what a man is supposed to do. Another perfect example is how a lot of us tie, not even a lot of us, how at some point I tied my identity so much to success in work. So a hard worker, they work hard, work hard. I wanted to be a hard worker, so I worked all the time. And I learned very quickly, well, not very quickly, I learned some very tough lessons that hard workers just work themselves into early graves. So there's a balance for hard work. And it's really smart work, right? And but ultimately I did go into it a little bit. It was one thing that I really wanted to talk about. So over the weekend, I had this opportunity. The universe has provided an opportunity for me. It was funny because in the men's group, one of the brothers was saying that he had gone to a conference and he had done some work on some people and did this. And I remember sitting in the group and I was like, you know what? I want to do that. And I'm glad I got to go to one that was kind of small because it was my first one in this capacity. And I seen a lot of opportunity for me to grow as a practitioner in this area. And I learned a valuable lesson, right? Balance is, and it's funny that you said this because this is one of the things that I learned about balance. So when we went to this, we went to this conference. It was very important for me because it's our early childhood educators. And if you know, I'm an early childhood educator. That's my love. That's my life. You know what I mean? I've done it at this point, 20 years. You know what I mean? I've mastered it at 13 years. I've done it for 20 years. So in some form or capacity for over 20 years, because now technically I'm still working in childcare. So it was very important for me to go to this type of environment and work with my people to do some Reiki on them, right? And one main lesson I learned is really for real, why Jesus had 12 disciples, right? So people ask me a lot of times, what's the largest group that I can deal with? Can, like, people want to have a little group thing and can I get together? And I'm like, it's cool. I can do whatever, blah, 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 blah. So we probably worked on about 40 people and it was 5 of us, right? Listen, the next day, energetically, excuse me, I think them women still got me too. Listen, energetically, all of us were broke. Our backs were tore up, our sore, our ankles were sore, all that was sore. And that's from working with their energy. These women in early education. One energy that I came across is the weight and the responsibility. That is a huge it's funny now because I lived so long when I was in programming with that weight and that responsibility that I didn't know how heavy it was. It was normalized to me. So now that I'm working with these women and I'm feeling it on them, I'm like, yo, this is unhealthy. No wonder I grade a little bit faster. So they're all dealing with back problems, which essentially is stomach problems or heart problems. They push their emotions to the back. I even ran the biggest thing that I learned that they were struggling with is with the art of letting go. As educators, they are generally taught to be a hoarder. It becomes instinctive for you. You just collect stuff. I even asked one of them, "Are you a collector?" And they was like, "Well, I collect people." You do. You collect people's energy and you carry it around like a burden, worries, the stress. Even one, I even listen. The thing that is causing her the most stress is her fear to love again. And I said, you keep yourself so busy. As a matter of fact, I got to her and I was like, your ancestors said it is time for you to love again. You are not meant to not love. And now in love, I mean pair bonding. I don't mean platonic. I don't mean parental. I mean pair bonding with a mate. It is time to love again, and you keep yourself so busy so you won't have to deal with that absence of love or that overflow of love that you have in your heart that can literally cause problems as well because you're not releasing that. You're just hoarding. And I thought that was a perfect time. That was the perfect segue. It was a beautiful experience because those women got so much. It was amazing to see some of them be so nervous at first and then get on that table. And the next thing you know, you hear them snoring. So many of them went to sleep. That's how you know they are tired. They was on our tables going to sleep, going to sleep. They were like, "Oh my God, did you hear me snoring?" It was crazy. The other beautiful thing about that, and I'm so glad because I always enjoy the opportunity to work on people who had given so much to me. It was a very intense experience. And I didn't expect it to be so intense. I was not prepared at all. It was a great experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world. You know what I mean? I understand some of the other things that I need now. Like I probably should have brought all my lights. I just brought one that I thought would be good. But we were in a situation where we couldn't adjust the lights like we wanted to. So if I'd have brought all my lights, we could have cut the lights off in there and just used my lights. The speaker was good. So it was crazy. I actually been thinking about that too. So when it comes to things like that, I remember when I first started doing Reiki and I do it with somebody that required a lot of energy, man, I'd spend my whole next day sleeping, right? And it took a lot of conscious work to get my energy back stable, back grounded, not where, because I pick up energy just like everybody else, but I'm like, give it back, right? But then I went to that rock show, and that dude told me like, whoa, you doing it wrong. You're supposed to ask from the energy around you. So you're supposed to take from the elements, from the fire, they ancestors, blah, blah, blah. So I be a little more intentional when I do Reiki now. And when I ask for the clarity, like when I was like, yo, like, for example, I'll say, universe or air or whatever, can you help me out? Give me some clarity for this person. Or I'll be like, hey, your ancestors, yo, they need your help. Can you come do your thing on them? So I use the elements around me so much and not so much of myself. So that makes it a lot easier to recuperate. So, but this one, surprisingly, for as much work as we did, it was a little easy to recuperate. All I had to do, I took a spiritual shower that night, which essentially is I just stepped on some I'm about to say rock salt, but not rock salt, some Epsom salt, rock salt, something different. Stepped on some Epsom salt for a little bit, then took a shower. But then I woke up that next morning, my stuff was still, it was crazy because my back was tight. This is how I know it wasn't my energy, because my back was tight, right? But it wasn't sore. It wasn't sore. Like when my back is sore, I need a massage. So I felt like I needed a massage. But when I like rub my back or anything, I didn't have one sore muscle. Wasn't anything like, I was like, hey, there's nothing wrong with my back at all. So I knew it was all of them because we even talked about it. They even got that, I talk about it, that Head Start waddle. They all even walk the same from years of carrying that burden and responsibility for children and families and all this stuff. It's just crazy. But that is generally one way I took a spiritual bath. I got up that next morning. My back still felt a little bit the same. So I jumped in the tub, took me a little spiritual bath. I kept it light this time and just some Epsom salt again. I used some and some bubble bath. I had some blueberry or something, some type of bubble bath or something like that. What tip? The spiritual shower. Spiritual showers easily. Normally, if I have it, that's why I also use that salt scrub. And it's crazy. So like I need to go get some more salt scrub. So when I take a full spiritual shower, it generally is the tip from the gym show. Dude, as a matter of fact, I've been kind of hesitant as a matter of fact, Liberty, because you be wanting to go to gym shows. They got another one this month. And I think let me give you a heads up. Because I didn't go to the last one. I will be at this one. It is the weekend of the 28th, the Greater Charlotte Rock Show. And this is the one where I met a lot of fun people. And I think this is the one where I got the black amethyst from Peru. And I want to get another because dude gave me a good deal. And I'm going there. I'm like, man, now I done bought from him one time. I'm about to go in there and haggle. I'm like, come on, brother. Now, I'll be back to you. I'm going boop, 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 shoot stuff. So I'm going to try to make some connections. Hopefully I run into that dude. He gave me his card again because he's the one who told me about the other styles of Reiki, like Vajra Reiki. And I do want to learn a little bit more about that because a couple of the other ones are more about using the elements. And he swears, I think it's Vajra Reiki. That's the one where you see people levitating when people doing Reiki and stuff on them. That's the one that's supposed to be I don't know if it's one in July. I have to check again. I did go through and try to put all the recent ones. July might be further than I'm willing to drive. So that might be it. Make sure. Yeah, I ain't putting anything. I ain't get as far as July. No, I stopped at this month, June. Yeah, June 28th. The Charlotte, that's the good one. That's the best one I've been to so far. So if you got some time, we can all meet up and go like a soul family to the rock show on the 28th. It's I think it's, which is funny because it ain't in Charlotte. I think it's in Hickory. Don't quote me. No doubt. We'll figure something out. And then, as a matter of fact, maybe I'll post it because a lot of people say they want to go. And I'll post and I'm like, we're going to meet here at a certain time. So the whole soul family, if anybody feeling courageous, come out there. I might start doing a little more of that so we can have informal outings. You dig? Now, this one does cost too. That's the only thing I don't like. Most of the other ones are free. But the free ones, the rocks cost more. The stones and stuff cost more. The cheapest one, I hope the dude where I got the geode comes out here again because I'm gonna get me at least another geode. So I want to have more pieces to give away. Because I done gave away all my pieces that I want to give or that I wanted to give. I done gave away all my window pieces, all my pocket size pieces. Everybody got a piece in their pocket. Ooh, that's I think that's a good idea. As long as it's a free for all, like, hey, I'm gonna be here, so family, we can meet here. As long as I ain't gotta do that much organizing. Or I'll need some organizational help. And then the other thing when my face was like that, you mean I'd have to make a commitment to going outside every month. You know, I'll be in these streets on spurts now. You get me out a couple of weekends and I'll be inside for the next 4 months or doing normal people stuff. Then I'll be outside. Like, people be so excited to see me when I go outside because I'll be focusing on this stuff. Oh, I thought, you know what? I misread that. A monthly or bi-monthly, that's more. Even quarterly is better. I read that as monthly or bi-weekly. I just stopped that. I seen that bi and my mind just put weekly in there. So now yeah, man, Jesus Christ. Woo. But monthly, I mean bi-monthly is yeah. We have to think about that. So the rock show can be our first soul family meetup. Word up. Yeah, for sure. As a matter of fact, I think that is a good idea because if we get some people out there, because I want to do that hike too, and I've been dragging my feet about that, but I'm like, we're going hiking, soul family hike on Thursday. I mean, you know, just a random day that I say because you know it ain't gonna be on a Thursday. Then will somebody be courageous and come out there. But you know, y'all know me. I'll be getting things done early. Gratitude. Great idea. Great idea. Great. I need to really start getting rich so you can quit your job and be my assistant. For real. But until then, yeah. Oh, you know me to listen. You know I'm crack of dawn. I be up like rooster. Time to get up and wake the people up. Listen, we ain't even get to the prompts. We're gonna do a couple of prompts. We'll finish the prompts next week. This is why I enjoy the fluidity of the show a little bit. I still want the learning aspect, so we have to include that. But I needed to, or we needed to figure out a way where you mean like is a what? Oh man, what the hell? I mean, excuse what the hell? What the hell he on? What the hell Leonte? What the hell Barry? Word. Hey, let me tell you something though. For real, man. Look at God. Right? Because it sucks to lose that job. Well, it sucks to lose a job, right? But sometimes when you lose a job, and you know this is coming from experience, sometimes when you lose that job, it provides you a space to be real honest with yourself and be like, yo, I hated that job anyway. Like, I just wasn't quitting it because it was paying my bills, but I hated that job. So no sad feelings, because we ain't like that job, no way, right? And it was getting in the way of you looking for a new job, because people always act like having a job and looking for a job is so easy. But looking for a job, if you serious, is a job. It requires a lot of time. If you actually a serious job hunter, even if you just one of them people who just spam applications out there, it still requires a lot of time. But if you actually research the companies, find out who's who, what they really stand on, it just takes some work. So now you got the time to do the work. You got the time to hug on your baby a little bit more. And you'll be able to get some slow dough. And slow dough is better than no dough, right? And in that meantime, before that slow dough run out, you have you another position, and it'll be even better than that job we hate. So, you know what I mean? And I say that because when I got fired from my job, I remember it felt like it looked like it was going to rain. And that whole 45, 50-minute ride, I was just like, yo, I hated that damn job. I just liked the money and like Sherry and Toddy and Miss Yvonne and McKee. Like I like 5 people, right? Which is pretty good for me. For me, 5. And normally it's just 2. You know what I mean? Oh man, you see, Toddy, you know it. You was there like shit. I hated that job. We all hated that job. You still hate that job. But listen, don't let it get to your the short notice. The short notice itself can be shocking. You know what I mean? And the worry about not having a job, all that like can be worrying, right? But like I said, you're gonna take this time and be real honest with yourself. You hated that job. Why are you anxious? You hated that damn job. That job sucked. Not to say that it sucked, like it's good for somebody, but you ain't like that job. So you're like, damn. Right. And you'll still be friends with the 2-3 people that you made friends with at work anyway, right? And you still got a little bit of money because it ain't like you got a little bit of time, so you be smart with your money, right? Oh, word, that sucks too. Damn, you in there smiling and shit. They like, you ain't even worried. I'm like, hey, nah, God is gonna sing to me. What's that song? You know what I'm talking about. God is gonna tell you something. You know what I'm talking about. Color Purple. For sure. You know, you covered, blessed, all those things. You've been doing the work. And for real, one of the reasons that we talking about letting go is because sometimes we find ourselves face to face with our inability to let go. Like when we know we don't like the job that we are working, but we continue to go to that job every day. That is face to face with your inability to let go. That is what I was just talking about, functioning in the idea of what you should be doing when it's contrary to who you are. That space wasn't even good for your spirit, your energy, or your healing. It got in the way of your family. It got in the way of your relationships. That wasn't a job. That's a damn prison with a paycheck. You did? So now it provides you the opportunity to find a space that works better for you, right? Right. And you remember that's the ego. That's that conflict between the ego and the spirit. The conflict between the physical and the spirit. The physical is telling you need that job because you got to pay these bills. You got responsibilities. You got this. And your spirit is inside begging for mercy. And every time your spirit says, please, this is a terrible place for us, your ego, your physical will show up with that ego and be like, shut up. We got things to do, right? So when we don't know or we have a problem with letting go, you know what happens, right? That cataclysmic event that happens when opposites attract because they don't belong together, right? You ain't belong there. Your positive didn't belong there. That cataclysmic event is the only thing that can separate opposites. And that usually is a termination. You lose your job, layoff is good, furlough, they got all types of words for that cataclysmic event to separate you from a place that was no longer good for your mental. I'm sorry, yo, I can't find my chapstick. Ah, there you go. I'm out here wilding. So it's all good, right? And I recently went through that. I'm just now, not even just now, still recovering from that same space and time, right? And a lot of us are in that space and time where we are face to face with our inability to let go because we are doing things that are not good to our spirit and telling ourselves that we have to. And it's only the perceived responsibilities that we've placed on ourselves, right? Which is crazy. I think that's perfect time to go ahead and segue into at least the first couple. I want to do these first sets of prompts. And I know we over our hour, but I don't care. Yeah, excuse me, I done ate and everything. Okay. So this is why I say them women must still got me, because I've been burping. So that comes from solar plexus, stomach, solar plexus, right? I'm doing my solar plexus work. My emotions a little crazy, but I got a little what's the name. But as soon as I started doing Reiki on them, I was burping the whole time because they have so many emotions and so many things to say that they don't say them. So they just in there, blah, blah. So for me, it'll show up as burp. For them, it's gonna show up as back problems, pinched nerves, god darn, indigestion, acid reflux, all this weird stuff that goes around with your midsection, right? So I'm still burping up some of that energy. Okay. Because I said, all right, so what we gonna do? Let's do letting go prompts. And we want to check out the self-reflection prompts. We're gonna start there, family. Self-reflection is important. We always call it self-assessment, review, whatever you want to, but just want a time or opportunity that you provide to really think about you. The best way to do healing is to be honest and learn more about yourself. Every experience that you've been through, a lot of things circle right back to you. As you go deeper in this process, all roads will wind up leading back to you. So self-reflection is always a fantastic tool to make sure you get in this one. So number two hitting you. That's a good one to you. Is that it's letting go. So I do want to talk about because that what is something you've held on to for too long. That's a tough one, really. What is something I've held on? What is something that you've held on to? Just being honest with yourself. What is something that um something that I've held on to for too long, really being honest, is probably some stuff from past relationships. And I think because really just holding on to those things, and why do you think it's been hard to let go? Um One, I think part of me just kind of functions on autopilot. And like I said, I've been an educator, and not even just being an educator, but growing up and I don't even like to say, but spending years necessarily in poverty. You know what I mean? It makes you hold on to things. You don't when your family is scratching and surviving. The one thing you don't practice is the art of letting go. You know what I mean? Or when to move on. Everything is so responsive. So this process of knowing when to let things go is very difficult. So I hold on to them. And then something that I think that we talked about in this process of, like, giving yourself permission. I never realized how important it is to give yourself permission until we got on this process of letting go. And the universe, not through one of the brothers, he made me conscious of how real is that. It, like, literally, you got to start with, yo, man, it's okay to let that go. It's okay. It's okay. Because when he said it, I stopped. Now it's like, okay, I guess. So I think it's been socialized. It's a level of fear that won't allow me to let go either. It's a sense of, but what if? And the funny thing about that sense of what if, I don't even know what's after the what if, because it isn't attached to a hope or an idea. It's attached to a fear. So the what if area is endless because it's just attached to a fear. It's not attached to anything rooted in solid ground. So the fear of letting go isn't even a solid fear, because it just stops at what if. And then it gets crazy is sometimes I can attach that fear to something. It can be a what if that is attached to something, and that becomes the justification for me not to do the right thing and let go. Like we were just discussing, working that job that you know you hate, right? You don't let go because of this underlying fear of what if, right? And sometimes that what if is just that, but sometimes that what if is, what if I can't pay my light bill and my lights go out? Or what if I can't pay all my bills and I wind up homeless? Very, very real what ifs, but they are the justifications that you have just used to no longer trust yourself or your ability, or even the understanding that you know you will be all right, right? You dig? Overthinkers, man, listen, overthinkers will, that's why I said it's a bad thing for me to have that what if attached to nothing, because the possibilities are endless. You know what I mean? It's a little better to attach it to something like, well, what if I can't pay my light bill? Because at least that's just one thing I got to deal with. So now if you're talking to somebody like, let's say you come in contact with somebody who's attached that fear to a what if, you can't even talk just to what if and no other concrete idea. You can't even talk them out of that, because every time you solve for X, they're going to give you a new Y, a new variable. Every time you solve for, you be like, well, what if I'm going to be able to pay your bills? You say, I'll pay all your bills for you, so you don't even got to work. Just quit the job, right? And they'll still say, but what if you decide not to pay my bill? The what ifs will go on. The what ifs will go on. So it's dangerous to not even attach it to. Now, the ones that attach it to something, they just wind up being stubborn because of the fear, the justification, stubborn to their own heart, stubborn to their own mental. Like some of these jobs are literally driving us into therapy. And we'll get off our therapist couch and go right back to that job. This is crazy. I remember when I was in therapy because of my job, my therapist looked at me first session. She said, quit the job. I almost quit going to her. I said, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I can't just quit this job. I got responsibilities. Justifying, not trusting and believing in myself. Even when the answer was given, she just gave it to me so honestly. So even I had the ability to come up with a bunch of things. So that's a good one to be real, to think about as a self-assessment to myself. So I have too much of my letting go attached to the fears of what if. I like that. Let's see if we can get that again. Let me make sure it doesn't cut off. I thought that was a good one. You think that was a hit? That sounded like a hit to me, Liberty. I know we running over today. I'm sorry. Yeah, I did see all the comments. Okay, cool. Anyway, we're not gonna spread it. All right, so now red number 2 resonated with you, Liberty. So we're gonna hit that too. I want to make sure I cover that. Now that's a good one. How do you typically react when things don't go as planned? That is a very good question as well, too. And I think it's one of those questions that we have to take in context, right? So, like, when I think about that, I react a multitude of different ways when things don't go as planned. So, for example, I firmly believe that if you want to make God laugh, you tell him your plan. So, when it comes to a plan, as far as a direction or steps that I need to take to get to a goal, I don't have any problem. I can take that like it's a little tough, but I can keep going forward. It's easy to let that go, right? Where the problem comes in, and it's a whole lot harder, where when I did take the steps, I remain flexible to get to the goal, and I get to the destination of where the goal is supposed to be, and it falls apart. Whether that be relationships or businesses. So if it like whatever, relationships or work, if I feel as though I've taken the proper steps to get to the goal and I did the right thing and I still don't get the outcome, it's harder for me to let go. And I respond to that a multitude of ways. At one point, it activated my approval seeking behaviors. And depending on the context of didn't go my way, I take extra steps to prove myself, to be like, yo, it should go my way. It activate my approval seeking behaviors, right? Which is crazy. Okay, that's what's doing that. I was wondering what's scrolling it down. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. I want to make sure it don't hang up on y'all too, because I've been trying to use my little thing, my hotkey. That's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, we're going over a little bit. I think we'll stop after this question. That's a good one. Since you did it, we can pick up next week with what does letting go mean. So it activates my approval seeking behavior, right? Or I have another tendency when things don't go my way. I can check out. And I see a lot of people that do this. It's those people who, as a matter of fact, I seen somebody the other day talking about, I've been single for 15 years by choice. Of course it's by choice. That's purposeful. And that's not a good thing, right? So it'll activate that type of mindset, even though I wouldn't do 15 years or something like that. but it'll activate that part of me that opts out as an active participant of my life. I'll just check out, emotionally disconnect from the people, the place, the thing, or whatever. Emotionally disconnect from it, right? But the wild thing about it is I just carry the emotions and drive myself crazy in solitude thinking about it instead of healthily communicating those issues or finding a better way to let go. So to either activate my approval seeking behaviors, it'll activate my aloofness, or right, that's why I say it's very contextual on how I respond when things don't go as planned. You know what I mean? Like if it's a step and I'm like, oh man, that's all good. But if it was the whole plan fell through, I'm gonna have problems with letting go. Or if it's a plan where I was like, I should have known better. So like those times where you date somebody and after you date them, you knew you shouldn't have dated them from the get go. You know what I mean? Those are the type of things that can allow me to be harder on myself and harder for me to let go, which is crazy because not crazy, but the ironic thing about that is being harder on yourself a lot of times forces you to repeat the action again. Because one of the things you have to learn is grace for your mistakes, forgiveness of self, letting go of those things. And if you don't, you stay hard on yourself. You gotta learn that lesson again. So I definitely think it's a very, very circumstantial on how letting go comes into place or how we go about letting go. Oh, I forgot y'all can see that too. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm trying to see who on TikTok. I forgot I'm on screen now. Forgive me, family. For real, for real. Okay, I think that's a good stopping place. We'll have some more conversation next week with the rest of the letting go prompts. We'll get into mindset and belief prompts. The first one's the self-reflection, of course. Then we're gonna get into relationships and growth and acceptance prompts. If you can see them, you're thinking about them, take some time this week and start thinking about the next three prompts. What does letting go mean to you personally? Think about that on a spiritual, mental, emotional, and a physical level. Think about it in terms of your four bodies that you're dealing with, right? And do you associate with letting go with giving up? Why or why not? Is letting go like giving up? Very good question to ask yourself. And what emotions come up when you think about releasing control? I can tell you that one right now. I could pass out. I only release control when I feel like releasing control. A lot of times I give the illusion of control. You hear me? Well, it's not necessarily tired. You came in late. You talking about you don't think letting go is like giving up? I don't know. All right, well, Tuesdays, that's the whole soul family today. The gang's all here. Thursdays be a little differently. It's your first time. I appreciate you joining us. You can catch us here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then we also have a Thursday night show, which is Book Club. And we're reading Makes Me Wanna Holler. So if you got some time, join us Thursday. If not, it'll be great, great, great. And I would have so much gratitude if you can join us again next Tuesday as we continue our discussions on letting go. And really think about it. Are you face to face with your inability to let go. If there's a situation that you're dealing with that you're struggling with letting go, y'all did good with the love and the hearts tonight, family. We had 5,000. Whoop, 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 whoop. I know y'all thumbs hurt like mine do from playing the ukulele 10,000 times. But again, family, I appreciate you. Love and gratitude. Here we go. I think I got the button to work too. From my soul to yours. And here we go. And then we hit y'all with that Whitty Hutton too.
I love you.
And ever since that Martin episode, she's always been Whitty Hutton. She's no longer Whitney Houston. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Whitty Hutton, right? But from my soul to yours, family, we see you Thursday. Peace. Hey Kenya, I appreciate you as always. I was thinking about you today, so I'm going to reach out to you. Peace.